How do you take an original photo of the most photographed tree in a country? This question is really what makes my point of view unique. I have been asking myself this question more and more as I look at my work and what others have taken. Not comparing who's better, but does my work feel different? Does it feel like me? The lonely tree in Wanaka has to be one of the most photographed trees in the world. It sticks out in the lake, and against the stunning backdrop of Wanaka, it's a very beautiful location. But when you are photographing something that has been photographed a lot, how do you make your photo different? Now, one way to get a different photo than what is normally taken is to get a photograph of location when others don't, or when the weather is different. This photo was taken a few years back by me and was only possible because of the really low levels of the lake when we were there. At the time, I was disappointed that I couldn't get a shot of the lonely tree in the water, but looking back now, I can get something that no one else probably got. And talking of photos that most people would not have gotten, because of the water levels being so low, my friend was able to put her toddler up on the tree, and I was able to get this photo, which is now on a big print at their house. Till this day, this is one of my most favourite photos that I've ever taken, and still feels one of the most unique that I've ever shot. One way to make photos unique is to make them about you. So here is a few photos of Ching at the start of our relationship, a few years back, taken on my Minolta 500 SI. I was in Wanaka for 9 days holidaying during my trip, and I wanted to get a photo that felt different. First, I tried to shoot a photo just as the weather was turning bad, hoping the stormy vibes would translate into the photo. I've been experimenting more with shooting black and white, so this time I got out my new Canon P and decided to try shoot the tree with T-Max 100 to see if a different film stock would bring something else out. The next day, the weather was not as nice. I had another roll of T-Max 100 on me, but this time I decided to try overexpose the shots to see if they would create a look that I would feel proud of. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite photos that I took of the tree. By overexposing the photos, the background falls away and separates the tree out nicely from the background. Once I was done with the black and white photos, I got out my Canon F1 and put on my new 20mm lens that I'd also bought on my trip. So I could get a very wide shot with this lens. I would not say this photo is overtly remarkable, But I do like the scope that you can get with a 20mm when you go so wide and you just take a much wider photo than what is normally taken. I then took a portrait photo of the tree, but the tree becomes very inconsequential here. Maybe this would have worked better in black and white. If I was to attempt a portrait again here at this location, I would shoot it with a zoom lens, which I did not bring with me, so I could pull the tree out from the background and place it in the foreground. Now, I've shot colour and I've shot black and white, and I've shot it overexposed. But none of these are really that unique in my opinion. None of these stand out. So I thought I would use my favourite film stock. Whilst I mainly shoot colour, my favourite film stock out there is actually a black and white film stock called Rollei Infrared. I love shooting infrared film. The two biggest issues for me though was that both of my medium format cameras that I had on me had issues. My Fuji 645 was very wide, too wide in my opinion to get a good photo of the tree. And my Fujica 690 had an issue with the shutter release cable, so I was going to have to push the shutter down with my hand, which could introduce a shake even if I had it on a tripod. So as I mentioned, the shutter release was an issue with this camera, and you can see that with this image. There is a little bit of shake, and unfortunately it has caused part of the image to blur. I decided to shoot a second photo just in case the first had issues, and this is what I got. So here is a comparison of the black and white versus the infrared. As you can see, there is a stark difference between the two. Sometimes people can't tell why an infrared photo is different till you show them the difference between normal black and white and infrared black and white. And this is a comparison of the black and white versus the colour. Whilst I love the colours of the South Island, I think at this time of the year and the time of day they don't hit right, and the black and white stands out more. And it stands out when you compare it to the colour photo that was then converted to black and white. Black and white film stocks have a look to them that just hits differently. They capture the light in a way that is hard to replicate. Here is a comparison of the infrared and colour, and whilst taken around the same time of day, the way light plays in the image is very different. In the infrared, it's very contrasty, whereas the colour image is very flat. And here is a comparison of the landscape versus portrait shots on the same film stock. I guess this is why they call landscape, whilst you can get a cool portrait orientated landscape shot, it's a lot harder to pull off. Now, do I truly believe I have the most unique photo of the tree? Well, maybe the toddler on the tree photo. To be fair, I'm not truly happy with my infrared photo. I didn't have my normal setup, and with these camera issues, it's a wonder I got a photo at all. I would like to come back with one of my main cameras that I like to shoot with to see if I could really nail that photo, possibly from a slightly different angle or location, just to bring the tree really out into the foreground. And I would also like to try take the photo on a more clear day, just so I can get that further separation. I will be back to the spot, and I'm going to nail shooting this tree in infrared, or maybe something else. As always, It's been real, guys. Until next time.